What?
Good morning, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. Boy, that was something. You know, yesterday we watched the eclipse, and there are people that saw the eclipse that was spectacular. We gave you what we could because it would have been much better, but we didn't know how to do it with the camera. And so we couldn't give it to you. But our night, it didn't get dark, but it got really like it got like in the wintertime, like it got like about 5:30 or
like
6 in the evening. It just looked weird, like a prism. But anyway, we showed you what we got because you had to put the thing over it because it could ruin your camera. But there were people who didn't put nothing in front of their filters. I don't know. We didn't know about that, don't know how to do that, and we will one day. So with that being said, good morning. I hope you have a lovely day at work, school, or whatever you're doing. So let's get started. Someone asked me to do a read on Chris Brown. Okay, I don't know what it is they want to know. So the first 3 cards, whatever they tell me, that's what I'm going to read about. Is that okay, baby Crone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to shuffle these over because I had just did a reading and those same 3 cards showed up. So sorry about that. And I was going to, but I don't like lying, so I couldn't fake it. Now, I shuffle these cards. 1, here we go again. If they show up again, it is what it is. 2, and here's 3. And if it shows up, then it shows up. How about that? Okay, 3. Now, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. They shall cut myself. There we go. So this shows up. And what we have
Mercury in Sagittarius.
I don't have any glasses and baby Crone is not here. We have Mercury in Sagittarius. We have
your fingers covering it. The Sun in Capricorn.
We have the Sun in Capricorn. He showed up.
The Sun in Aries.
And the Sun in Aries. So we have a lot of suns going on over here. We have the Sun, we have Aries, and we have Sagittarius, and we have Mercury. That means what's going on in Chris Brown, right? He's looking out. He's ready to get started. He's preparing for his show. He's ready to make his move. However, I don't know what's going on, but I see something here that made him selfish or turn his back. And it has to deal with material things. So it could have been something, a deal, I don't know, something must have went on or whatever that affect his money. You know, I see that creativity, I see all of that coming his way. Something very lucrative, very big. But something happened. You see that, baby Crone? See? You see all that creative energy, love, everything was a good deal. Something came his way, but then the man is separated, turned away from everything. So something must have happened. I don't have no idea. But I see him, he's still going on. He's still looking out. But I see when it comes down to his money, he's not very trusting with folks. I put this under the sticks and under his love life. What I see under his love life, let me go ahead. Same card. That can't be. I see it too. I see that there is love or there is somebody that he has feelings for. I'm doing baby Crone style. See it, baby Crone?
Yes.
So there is somebody in his life that he has strong feelings for, very strong feelings for, and he's getting ready to leave this person. Is that, let me move a next card. It just seemed, I'll come back. Yeah, I see that maybe the person, because it's love, I mean, the person is content, but I think maybe the person may be feeling a little bit more uncomfortable leaving. Maybe he is, I don't know, because I do see here that would be a Pisces and that would be a Sagittarius. I mean, that would be Jupiter. So with the Pisces, let me lay out another card because I'm trying to read. I need handy cards. Now it's much better. What I see clearly is there is some love in his life. I know that maybe the person he's with, or maybe don't want him to go, or not want to go, maybe want to go. I don't know. I see a problem right here and here. These two cards, baby, from what you think. This one was first and this one was second. When I see this one, this is somebody that's ready to go. Right here, ready to go. But here you have somebody who's content, but have a lot of emotions about it. Maybe they just want to miss him. Maybe that's it. Because I don't think somebody don't want me to go or whatever. Or that part is not clear. But what is clear, there is somebody in his life that he have very strong feelings for. Okay. Also, I see on this journey, it's like kind of had like a dark start to this show or whatever, but it just seems like everything is going to be okay. It seems like he really wants to go. He really want to do this. He really want to do it. He really want to go on this show. And what else can I say? He's going. He's going. You know, he knows that what I am sensing here at the bottom of the road in his love life and what I see here is coming out in his love life. I see that he's triumphed. He's trying to move on. He's trying to put his past behind him. But for whatever reason, his past always come up and something to try to pull him back. You know, his past is like, it's like the monkey on your back. It's like his past. And I'm thinking like with Rihanna or whatever that thing is, it no matter how successful, no matter what he does, his past with her, because this is the lover, his past comes back and haunts him. Here's the Chariot moving forward, wanting to keep focused and leaving the past behind. But however, you see it right here. It shows up in his money. It shows up in his business. Seems to me that we are not as forgiving as we appear to be. And it seems like he is moving on. He is moving on. What else I got? Okay, so from now on, when I don't know what to read about, these readings may be 5 minutes because I have to have a direction. Baby Crone, do you have a question?
Yes, I'm just curious about the album that he released.
Okay.
Because the name of his tour and album is 1111. So,
okay.
Yes, I'm curious. Is Chris Brown going through a spiritual awakening?
Well, what I see, I don't think that he's going through much of a spiritual awakening. As much as I think that he just wants the darkness to go away. This thing that's always coming up against him or blocking him or it puts him in a funky way. And I think he just wants that gone. I think he's just tired of fighting against it or competing or people being better than him when he knows. It's like he knows he got a lot to give. He knows he put on a show. He knows this. This is how he make his money. So he knows. But when you see Chris Brown, nobody wants them on the show. You don't see him on TV. It's this man knows what it's like to really be blackballed. That's what I'm getting. This man has been blackballed, and it is like a plague. No matter what he does, it comes up and affects his finances. This is what I'm getting. And I'm getting that, yes, it's like ever since that dark plague with Rihanna and his growing up, it's like people has put him in the back and he's been struggling because he know he should be up there with Usher. He should be, but he's nowhere near Usher. You have another question?
Yes. Is Chris Brown dating at the moment?
Yes, he is definitely dating. Yes, the magician cards show up. So yes, this is something that makes him feel good, makes him feel in control. Maybe make him feel energized. Mercury. So he's got fire. So this is a relationship. I feel as though it could be with somebody new or somebody old. I don't know, but what I do know that there is some kind of energizing in a relationship. Yes, and I see the page, and I see earth, and I see air. So I don't know. I just see that he's young. Not young anymore. I think that's the problem because here you have the magician, and then you have a page. It's like I'm not a kid anymore. I'm here. It's like it's got me all up in my head, reacting, thinking. He's like, I'm more stable now. I'm a man. I'm not that kid. I'm a man. I know how to do business. He's a good businessman. He manages things, and it's like people still see him as that kid, and it gets him down. See, you got this, and you have this. This is what you have. As far as his love life, yes, that's what I said. I said there is either somebody he's in love with, or been, or a rekindling, or a new way of a relationship, or he met someone new. That I don't know. I would like to say I think it's somebody new, but I'm not sure because I see a lot of tangles, like children and mothers, and I see all of that in his life. He has a grown-up life, with grown-up situations. So, but I would like to think that it's somebody new and somebody nurturing and somebody who helps him and all. I like to think that, but it may not be that at all. But I definitely see a relationship here. And let me ask this. Is you going on your trip, is it going to affect your relationship in any way at all? I need that clear. The person know he's going on, it's like like a world trip. And it's like going on in the world. So it's like, no, I feel comfortable about it. I'll be able to see this person, whatever. So no, this is a world card. And so this is a completion. So this is not like this person is insecure or whatever. But I'm feeling this nagging feeling like it is something about this trip. What is it? I don't know. I think that this person may be having a little trust, maybe like you go on a trip and maybe feeling like you're going to cheat or lie or do something because I won't be around to see you, catch you. That's the best way I can explain it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like, and I don't try, not saying he's doing this, but this is what I'm seeing. Something to that effect. Somebody is just having trepidation. It's like as long as we're together, we're great. But I'm afraid that when you go out in the world and do your show, you're going to get caught up in a whole lot of stuff. And I'm really not for that. I have to trust you, And these cards I see here looking out, preparing to go on with a lot of ideas. I see here looking out again, ready to go on, right? This is somebody who's ready to go. And here. This has got this Sagittarius energy. They are moving on, okay? Here, but there's somebody who's worried about his dark nature. And it's like if I'm not there to protect you or there to look out for you, I don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but he must do what he has to do. He have contracts. He has to fulfill what he has to fill. And this is a way he makes his money. So think of a question. I have another one. Is he a good father? Okay, so when we got the high priestess, I can only tell you what this means. The high priestess, when it shows up in the reading, mean that there is some darkness, some things that you don't deal with, some things you can do better. You know what I mean? It's like the darker part of your nature. And it's not like he doesn't love his children. Maybe there's some issues with the baby mama or drama or something like that. But this is like a brooding card. This is a card that, baby Cole, how would you describe this?
The High Priestess?
Yes.
I would describe the High Priestess as someone who's in tune with their environment. So maybe
Yes.
Chris Brown is trying to be a more involved father.
Right. Like where something was weak at one point.
Mhm.
And it's like, because none of these cards are for your bad. So but all at the same time, they give you directions on how to feel. So this is dealing with your subconscious and the things. So there's some things back there that needs to be sorted out. But that's what shows up. So I don't know what that means per se, but do he get to see his children often? Maybe that's a better question. We have here air and water. Air and water. Air and water. What is that saying? Air. A lot of thought. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not a good father at all, but I am saying I just see it's some trouble and maybe spending time with his kids. That's the question that I ask. Do he love his father? Well, a king showed up, of course. I love my children, but that wasn't the question that I asked. The question that I asked first, do he see his kids?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many children he have. I'm thinking 2. I don't know. I don't follow Chris Brown, but I do know him and I know his music. Yes. I think things are up in the air with the baby mamas. I think he's going through some drama with that baby mama. Do he love his kids? Of course he loves his kids. But I'm going to say it and I could be wrong. Let me put it out there. Everything I say is allegedly. Allegedly. I think he loves his kids. But sometimes when you don't see your children as often as you do, you have a love for them, but it's kind of like different. Like, you know, if you grew up and you never saw your mom or your dad, you saw them and you knew they took care of you, but they were around, but you know what I mean? You grow up and they be like, how you feel about my dad? You don't just not love them. You just have that, what's that feeling? When you're not around them.
Just unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar. Thank you, baby Crone.
You're
this
welcome.
is the sentiment I'm getting. Do you agree?
Yes, and he has 3 kids.
What?
Yeah, by 3 different
Chris.
baby mamas.
Chris, no.
Yes.
Well, anyway, somebody or some of them don't get the full seeing their dad like they would like to, but these are the prices you pay when you have unprotected SCX. I hope it was worth it. I do. I hope that the money you get and everything you get for this is well worth it. Because a lot of them probably thinking, I'm going to raise another Chris Brown or another Susie Brown. But nevertheless, so that's what it is. Didn't I say it was something?
Yes, you did.
So yes, so I
He just doesn't have a clean love record.
and when it comes down to his children or in general?
Just in general.
Okay, why you say that, baby Cone?
Well, to just
it's a card reading coming from your mind?
No, just summing up the reading, just thinking about how he can't live down his past of what he did to Rihanna.
Yes,
he has 3 different baby mamas.
Ugh.
He's about to go on tour, and if he is in a relationship, his girl is worried if you're gonna be out there cheating and gonna bring me back another baby mama.
Or STD.
Yeah, so it just doesn't seem like he's
stable in his love affair or stable in being a daddy. However, he know he had to pay that money. And so he might be stable there. And this is probably why he does a lot of shows. How's his show going to be? Let's lay out 3 cards.
Okay.
Successful. You know, he puts everything. This is what the card says. He puts everything into his show. He works hard for his show. You see that big old son? He works hard. This is something, that's all he had. If he messed this up with his peeps, TV don't welcome him. I feel kind of sad, but there is a part of sadness is that I don't know what he have to do anymore to fix this. And I think that's where he's at. I don't know what I got to do. It is what it is, you know. And I see that his show is going to be successful. He still have a lot of diehard young fans. Yes, I see the hermit. I think right now he's just separating himself, getting his mind right. He really want to bring the best because he knows the lights are on him. He knows that people are ready to find fault. They ready, and this is his money maker. So he's really putting everything he can into his show, his dancers. He's like Cat Williams in that sense, where this is his money. This is what I gotta do. I gotta make sure I don't know what Cat Williams had, but I'm sure he had managers and all this to run his business. Yes, and Judgment. It's going to be something a little different about this show because I see Judgment. Didn't you say something about 1111?
Yes, that's the name of the album and tour.
And I said that Judgment came out, and I was like, what is Judgment says? This tour, this 1111, this is something spiritual. This is something, a gateway. This is something that new beginnings, but yet old. Like this is something he's reviving, revamping, doing something new, bringing it to the forefront. You understand what I'm saying? And in this show, this is like a judgment. This is like, I am not who you keep saying I am. You understand? You keep telling me who I am and judging me. I am not who you say I am. You know, like I want you to see me as a man, not a kid. You know, he's out there making his money, doing what he got to do. And yet I see judgment. Judgment to prove he's got something to prove. This show is going to be a little special. This show got a little oomph on, a little magic to it, a little mysticism. So this is something he really, really want to make a point. And I'm thinking about something that's new. You say he got a new album?
Yes.
What is the name of it?
1111.
Yeah, this is something. And he's going to do some of his old music, but he wants to test this out. This is something really new. This is probably something that he don't went to the wizards and the warlocks and say, concoct me up something for this show. This show is supposed to be special for him. And I want to leave it, but right now that's all I got. Is that this show is special. It's 1111. He's dealing with 2 gateway numbers, and he's dealing with judgment, and it's a 2, which is 1 and 1 make 11. So this is something very, very powerful. I am not who you say I am, and this is the sentiment I get. And it's like he's been trying to change that and change that. And I hope that this show puts him in a different light, or his music, because he's going to bring it as always. So that's my read for Chris Brown. Everything I say is allegedly. I do not know Chris Brown, and I never met him, and he never asked me a question. So this is what I get intuitively. I hope you enjoyed it. Sunflowers.